is a lot of Gen Z and millennials or bitches stuff on the internet, which is true a little bit, but I don't like hearing it from someone that's too much older when it'll be like, men used to be men and we used to know how to treat a woman and they would respect us. And it's like, you also used to punch them way more.
Ryan Long is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Ryan Long just stepped out to take a whiz, and he'll step right back in when he's done taking his whiz. Theoretically.
Allegedly.
I can filibust for a second here. I will say this. I was taking an Uber in Vegas, and I brought this up before. The Uber driver was on the shortish side, had the seat. Ryan, you must have experienced this, and Mayhem probably as well. There's Uber drivers who drive in an almost dentist chair, full recline. And it's like, you know, your entire job is comprised of people getting in the back of your already not that big car, and you're not even that tall. And by the way, I drive race cars all the time. You're not supposed to drive in a reclined position. You're supposed to sit up. But also there's people getting in behind you, and then your knees just press against. I took a picture. I want this. Here's my rule. Here's the rule I'm saying.
This is you?
This is me taking a picture of the Uber guy who's reclined. And by the way, they don't even lean back on their seat. They're up above. The rule is your seat shall not exceed the B pillar. It can't get into the back area. Mm-hmm. That's my Uber rule. I don't care. That's the new rule. Your rule is your seat must stay. And if you're 6'9", fuck off.
And 5-minute conversations tops.
Yeah, but if you're 6'9", get a job in the Euro League. We need you driving
that's
fucking
a
Uber.
good point.
But move your seat up. Sorry, and they go, well, I prefer. I know, but this isn't you driving your car for pleasure. This is you picking up people with knees who are going to have them rammed into the back of your fucking seat the whole time. What is that? Like, I'll get picked up by Uber guys who have their passenger seat fully back and like half reclined, and there's nothing. I'm not riding shotgun. I'm getting in the back. Why?
I bust a 3-act play. First act is me jam my knees up against that thing.
Right.
To like kind of nudge and subtly let the guy know. Second one is, and then the third is, "Yo, bud, can you put your seat up?"
Yeah.
And there you go.
I'm like, what you're doing right now, dude, is either brash or brazen. My head's swimming, but either way, it's one of those. Certainly bold. But it's like, people get in your car and they sit in the back. Move the passenger seat up. There's nothing going on in the passenger seat.
No reason for that.
Right.
I think you need the hey bud method. Like,
hey bud.
Hey bud. Hey, bud. Like, hey, bud lets them know, hey, we're friends. It's like, hey, my friend. It's like the white guy version of my friend. Hey, bud. Hey, bud, can you do me a favor? I think that would solve a lot of your problems.
Your voice has a lot more command in it. There's a lot more.
Hey, bud coming from this.
Yeah, it's clear, it's present. Can we get an app going? A Hey Bud app going where Jason Mayhem Miller just give me 3.
Hey, bud, can you help me out?
Let's do this.
Yeah, then when you say it, it's not a suggestion.
Right. But let's have some fun with it. I want 3 clean.
All right.
I want the polite, hey bud.
Hey, bud.
Okay. That's like heads up.
Yep.
That's like, I think, okay.
But it's also a little demeaning. It's very like,
hold on.
Is it?
Yes, it's like he's a kid to you.
All right. Hold on.
Oh, hey, little buddy, you know.
Skipper from Gilligan's Island. Listen, I need the first hey bud. And by the way, Ryan, I'll direct here, please. Please. This is my app.
A bit of color commentary here and there.
You're just an investor. But when
I choose to be.
When we did the paperwork, I said I get creative, 100% cretive license over this project.
Considering it.
All right.
So we got that take down, though. The happy one? No. He stepped on it.
First bud is... You found somebody's sunglasses in the back of the thing, and you're just alerting. Hey, like,
it's a nice one.
Okay, so give me the nice one.
Hey, bud.
Yeah, okay. All right. It's good. We'll keep it.
All right.
Second bud is...
I want to say, as a Canadian, my culture is not your guys' costume.
But this is...
Is this appropriation?
This is Appalachia, bud. This is Appalachia.
You get married in Canada. The priest says, "Hey, buddy, do you take this bud to be your bud for life?"
Really? We don't go buddy. We never say buddy around where I'm from. We say, "Hey, bud. Hey, bud."
All right,
here we go.
I'll let you have bud.
Second bud is the seats kind of reclined a little too far. You'd like him to move it up.
Hey, bud.
All right, that's good. And third is he didn't hear you the first time and the seat ain't moving.
Hey, bud.
All right, now I got that. I can get my seats moved. Now, when my voice changes, I don't know if that's going to affect him or confuse him.
Yeah. Just push the button. Push the button. Varying levels of bud.
I came up with the best app ever a million years ago before there were even apps.
Uber
I came up with an app. I came up before Uber, before anything. I was listening to Dr. Drew talk to his crazy wife in the back of a town car. And we're like in Chicago. And you know how women are missing an enzyme or they don't know you're trying to get off the phone?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll talk to my sister and I go, I saw Dad. He's doing pretty good. So I got Sonny with me now. So we're gonna get back to the football game. Yeah, you know what? I don't understand. And like you just got that. I'm in full wrap mode. I'm full wrap it up mode. Like that's getting off the phone time. Like we can't go around again. I heard Drew say to his wife, he's in the back of the tent. She's crazy, and she's talking, and he's like, okay, all right, will do. Like when you start hearing things like, well, then we'll see you when we see you. Like when you hear those are wrap it up lines, or like, oh, we're at the airport now. So, when you hear that kind of stuff,
upward inflection.
We want to wrap it. Want to wrap it up.
They don't understand phone consent.
They don't understand the 30. Yeah. He said, "Will do." Like, yeah, okay, will do.
My ears did not consent to another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But then it's funny when you hear them reboot. Like they go,
start it back
okay,
up.
we'll do. All right, I'll see you then. All right, then we'll do. No, I haven't seen Douglas's Retainer. That's when they're able to fucking reboot you, Like, well, have you talked to the maid? Well, no, he was in the living room. No, yeah, well, he was eating. Yeah, so he must have taken the retainer out. I don't know. Maybe someone sat. You got to... And then that one will get wrapped. Sure. They'll start getting wrapped. Okay, then. All right, then we'll do. No, I don't... Well, I don't know an orthodontist. Someone's going to have to... You're going to have to contact them. They reboot. I came up with an app.
Yeah, definitely we can do that. They like throwing in like we should do this. Like I saw a restaurant we should go to. You go, yeah, it's definitely on the table. Now you're getting signed up for plans in the future.
Right. The third time your phone hears you say "will do" in under 40 seconds, it hangs up.
Or at least gives a 20-second countdown where it actually says the numbers.
And then goes to static. And she'll call back and think you're in a tunnel or something like that. It's 3 will do's. It'll work. It'll work with anybody.
And then it gives you bad reception.
Yeah, you get real spotty after that. Right.
Yeah, because it's not. Then the onus is not on you.
So
this would have to be a black market app.
What it does is, if you do 3 will do's in 40 seconds, it starts breaking up the next 30 seconds of conversation, and then gets staticky, and then goes flat.
Hey, did I find the will do app on your phone?
Yeah. For sure.
No, it's the Honeydew app I was trying to sign up for. I want to get some stuff done this weekend. What would I sign up for? Will do?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I meant the Honeydews. I thought maybe you want to go to IKEA or something. I didn't know that. I don't know how this thing works.
I like it, man. Yeah, it's hard to get off those calls sometimes.
Perfect. No one's feelings are hurt. Like sometimes you start to strain to rude where you just go, look, I got to go. At some point you just go,
I get another call.
Yeah, at some point you get rude. Like you just go, I have to get off the phone now. Like I've been trying to dance.
You made me be this person.
Yes, I was dancing around it for a while with all right, I got, a lot of conversations about who you're with and getting back to like whatever, like you go, yeah, no, I'm just with Shelly and we're eating right now. So,
how many times I gotta mention
that's
that?
good enough. That's enough to wrap it up.
Also, I'm with people, so the personal stuff you're talking about, I'm probably going to take a pass on as well.
We're in the Uber guy's got a seat in full recline, but we're in the back and you're on speaker. So, Hey, bud. I used the Hey Bud app and the Will Do app. I could use the shit out of that. Yeah, so it's 3 will do's in a span of 40. Because you could just say will do talking to a good buddy who
Yeah.
was talking, shit about. You got to say 3, and it's got to get choppy after that, staticky, and then it just goes drop.
You're giving it the heads up with the third one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You know what you're doing.
I got some news,
You got
guys.
news? Will do.
I may have this the news. Donald Trump, the art of the peel, learns to make McDonald's
Post?
French fries. Yeah.
New York Post?
Yeah. He is, I'm sure we have footage of it, went to McDonald's. Stopped by Feasterville, Trevose, a rural area north of Philadelphia, for a campaign event and got his hands down in the grease with some of the locals. Here he is.
There is literally one tile and one tile only that McDonald's uses in the back of their restaurants.
Standard.
6x6 burnt orange. That's all it is. I can smell the grout now as I thought about working back in those days.
Right, far right, hanging right up there.
So
I'd like to see him go at a late night McDonald's in a bad area.
Yeah.
Get the real experience if you're going to do it. Someone should be jumping over the counter fighting them.
Or a TikToker throw his Diet Coke right back at you through the drive-thru.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There and just give him a twirl.
all right, so I had a moment where I was looking at this. You can pause it, and I was like, oh, who cares? I don't care one way or the other. I don't know why we have to go through this. But
I guess the original thing is it was because Kamala Harris said
right,
it. Yeah.
right. So I'm naive, oftentimes. People think I'm brazen. I'm not. I'm naive, and I'm just sitting around going, what do we care? What do we care? What do we care? And then I realize, oh, this is him fucking with Kamala about her dubious, possibly. Charge that she worked at a McDonald's. So then I started breaking it down. So then I was like sitting there and I was like, well, wait a minute. I don't understand in these modern times how we don't know if she worked in a McDonald's or not, or there's controversy. Should be able to figure it out. So,
Or just here, hey, here, look, here's the email from my boss.
Right.
With my schedule.
To me, this falls under the heading, I have this heading of, cop pulls you over, asks you've been drinking, you say absolutely not. Then he goes, you mind blowing into this breathalyzer? And I go, absolutely not. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of like, well, if it's just a fucking Wednesday and I'm driving home from work and I get pulled over, then I kind of do want to blow into the breathalyzer because the guy thinks I'm drunk.
Yeah.
And if I don't, there's going to be more trouble. But I haven't been drinking, so what do I give a fuck? But if I don't blow into the breathalyzer, then maybe I was drinking. And then there's some 2.5 beer version of this where I'm like, not really drunk, but
you don't want to play the you don't trust me game with the cop.
Right. So whenever somebody doesn't just belly up, like when OJ got into trouble, like if you accused me of almost hacking my ex-wife's head off and the guy worked at the restaurant, and I in fact was upstairs in Brentwood putting into a coffee mug and getting ready while the driver sat outside to take me to LAX, I would grab a fucking microphone and go, listen, I don't know where anyone got this shit. Run with it at your own peril, because I'm going to sue the shit out of every single person that points their finger at me and calls me a murderer. And by the way, when they catch the gangbanger, or the vagrant, or the whoever did this shit in 10 minutes, like somebody got the fucking murder just walking around Brentwood.
High profile.
Once they catch that guy, everyone here owes me an apology, and it won't work because I'm going to sue the shit out of all of you for calling me a thing. This is fucking ridiculous. I'm insulted, and I'm now getting my lawyer, not a defense attorney. I'm getting a lawyer to go after you guys for calling me a murderer. Instead, they're like, I have no comment. Like, that's always a weird... If you're truly out of town when this thing goes down, or truly upstairs, you don't go, no comment, talk to Bob Shapiro. You go, this is fucking nuts. Uh-huh. And by the way, you say it.
The first few times you're almost happy. People are asking you, you're like, yeah, I'm glad you asked because I have the proof.
And you would assume that they would find this guy in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. If a guy with a steak knife took someone's head off in the middle of Brentwood at 10 at night, you go, well, this guy's fucking, they're going to find him in a youth hostel up the street, or he's going to get drunk and start talking to his buddies about, like, they're going to catch him, and then you guys are all going to apologize. But no comment is not. So if somebody, I worked at McDonald's, so I would have a bunch of answers for you about what McDonald's and when and where and who my manager was. But then So I was reading these articles, and I was like, okay, what's the proof they have or don't have? And so what Trump has, now first things first, nobody cares who works at a McDonald's. That's not good or bad in and of itself.
I think that there's
it's
slight
bad
good
that you lied. You lied about it. That's what they're going after, the lying part. Not
why
the
would
part
she lie about this? This most bizarre lie.
I think it makes you appeal
Makes you
normal.
So here's the thing. It's the same lie, which isn't a lie, that she grew up in Oakland. She was like in Montreal most of her schooling days, and her parents are professors. You know, so she does the blue collar, grew up in Oakland, and you go, oh, so your mom like worked at the post office and your dad worked for UPS, and then you grew up in Oakland.
No.
That's not private school in Montreal with professor parents. So she's trying to do a Jenny from the Block thing, which I get. Everybody does. You know, it's part of,
It's too hard to pull off with this much information, you're saying.
These days.
No, it kind of worked because I was talking about the Montreal part, the Canada part, and I did a quiz of most of the people in this building. They're like, she grew up in Oakland. I was like, yeah, then she went to Canada, and she went to a private school, and they went, I never heard any shit about that.
Marketing.
And I was like, oh, good. Well, it did. It worked.
Yeah.
So McDonald's is part of the theme. It's like every president talking about, hey, I like to hunt, and I like to go out. It's this hunty, outdoorsy.
You'd want to have a beer with me.
Americana kind of thing. So working at McDonald's is very Americana. It doesn't say elite. Going to private school in Montreal says, and having a professor parents says elite, and then McDonald's and Oakland say Jenny from the Block. So that's what we're trying to craft. So you would say I worked at McDonald's, so people thought you were sort of regular folk, which I get. But I said, well, all right, maybe she worked at a McDonald's, but she's just not pushing all the official particulars about where and when, and some
She
of
hasn't
it.
even said which one.
Maybe that's
She
the October
said-
surprise.
She said one. I was reading the article.
She worked at
There's either
Arby's.
1 or 3 in this area that she could have worked in. That Joe.
Yeah, she
has.
said she worked at one in Alameda in 1983.
But I'm not. But there are like 3 in Alameda, so they're not sure. But she may have said one on this street. Okay, I worked at the one in Studio City on Ventura Boulevard. There is or was another McDonald's on Ventura Boulevard down the street about 3 miles, maybe a mile and a half, which could have been in Studio City, but maybe in Sherman Oaks. Like I don't know, but there's 2, so I could go. I worked at the one on Ventura.
There you go.
And there's 14 of them all the way down Ventura. But why is it murky? You know what I mean? Like, why not go the OJ route, which is Donald Trump's an idiot. I worked at this one. My manager was named so-and-so.
This is his name, yeah.
This is his name. He's still alive. Go fucking find him and talk to him and look like an asshole.
Yeah.
But she's not doing it. So then the other thing they said was she's written 2 biographies and not mentioned working at McDonald's. So when one writes a biography, they start
Biography? Interesting.
Autobiography. And you would think you move in a linear fashion, usually. Here's where I went to grade school, and then I got my job at McDonald's, and then I went to college, and I graduated, and I got married, or whatever it is. So she's written 2 with no mention of working at McDonald's, and she never brought it up anywhere until 2019, when she did bring it up. But I realized as a guy who worked at McDonald's, it gets woven into half the stories. I'm telling, because like I literally go, like when my son turned 16, it's like, get him a job. We should work at McDonald's. And then the women are like, no, you shouldn't have to work. And I go, I worked at McDonald's. It's good for you. It's good to learn how to work. I worked at McDonald's. Anyway, I was sitting there reading this article, and I was going, well, she wrote a biography or an autobiography, and she didn't mention McDonald's, then I guess that's kind of proof that she didn't work at McDonald's. And then I thought, oh, wait a second. I have written an autobiography on me, redundant, did I mention I worked in because I'm willing to give her a pass because I wrote this book.
Did you?
14 years ago.
Did you look into it?
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to get too judgy here because if I did not say that now I didn't write like a straight autobiography. It's a lot of comedy in it, funny stories and shit like that. I'm not big enough name or interesting enough just to do, the Adam Carolla biography. And I realized I would have leaned toward funny stories and hijinks and stuff like that. And I didn't have a lot of that at McDonald's. But the name of the book is not Taco Bell material, which is because I applied for a job at a Taco Bell, walking distance from my dad's house in North Hollywood. And they're like, they were hiring at a Taco Bell. And I filled out an application. Now, God knows I used to put my address where my weight and height was supposed to be. And fucking a lot of arrows going, sorry. Like, this is where it was going to be. I'm fucking retarded. But they looked at my application and they're like, we're good. I'm not hiring you. So I ended up I only went to the Taco Bell because it was up the street, And I was on a one-man campaign to bring back the Bell Beefer. I was on a crusade. Never came to fruition. But I then had to get a job in Studio City at the McDonald's. So I thought, I can't judge her unless I mentioned it in my book. And so I called Joe and I said, go find my autobiography and see if I said I worked at McDonald's in it. So I think we have it.
Still stinging from my Taco Bell rejection, I headed over to the Studio City McDonald's. It's still there on Ventura. Unfortunately, I filled out the application correctly and ended up getting the job. It was 1980, the summer between sophomore and junior year. Then down in the next paragraph, my manager's name was Ken. He was a fat black guy who took his job very seriously, and at first I did too. There's always that moment in a young man's life when he's at his first shitty job and thinking, oh yeah, one day I'm going to be managing this McDonald's.
All right. So then I'm back to being suspicious over Kamala because I did hit you can't write an autobiography without, and especially when you want people to think you're folksy and down homesy and whatever. You work in McDonald's, it's like, I'm going to tell my kids, I'll tell my daughter, sleep one night in your fucking car. One night. Just spend one night. A weeknight. Nobody cares. It'll be in the driveway. Just sleep in your car one night, and then later on you can go, I don't have a silver straw. I slept in my car when I first came to L.A. Yeah. And they do. Everyone's...
So you're voting
86% of celebrities have slept in their car. According to them, 91 welders.
I had a good month where I was sleeping in the Caprice Classic.
There you go. See, with the bullshit again.
I had a van. Anyway, well, so you're saying she casually lied about this and now can't take it back?
So I think, out of the tube. I think but this one's a little more telling. I think about 6.
So you're leaning towards it's a lie.
6
survey says.
I'm leaning toward it's a lie because I think she would get the manager, her old manager, to cut a PSA.
At this point, they need to pay off a manager. They need an ex-employee. That doesn't seem that hard to put him on an NDA.
Still alive. Just type in McDonald's black manager. Something will come up. I will find this guy. So he, she...
Surprised that, the internet community's probably been on this, eh? They like to choose it.
She didn't... Yeah. All right. She filled out paperwork to go to, after she graduated college, which would have been 5 or 6 years after the McDonald's job. Mm-hmm. She worked McDonald's at college, which it seems weird but McDonald's is, for people that have 2 pennies to rub together. It's pretty much a high school.
Because it's not really helping with college a ton.
No, they do. I went to McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's to help with school. It was like,
didn't help that much.
I got paid, $2.42 an hour and would have worked about the same time she worked with taxes taken out.
Yeah, you work for a few weeks, pay for a book.
Hard to cover tuition at Berkeley with that, but okay, it's fine. She filled out paperwork to get a job in the DA's office or something out of as a lower level, whatever. But in in the paperwork, you have to list all of your jobs from 10 years before this. And she listed her jobs, but not McDonald's.
Oh, it's left out again.
Left out again, a little like suspiciously.
Do you think before the only alternative answer, if there wasn't a lot, you could say, well, she was trying to craft this image of I'm this elite fancy person, so I want to leave out the McDonald's thing. And now,
I would think she would leave
and now
that
it's
out.
now it's beneficial, so they're like, oh, let me put that thing back in. That's the only plausible.
No, I didn't. Yeah, when I didn't tell chicks I worked at McDonald's to try to get a blowjob when I was 21. You know, as a veteran of smell my cuticles, baby. Smell like onion. Smell like onion because I was a grill guy. No, I didn't tell people.
Did you know what salt goes in the fry cook?
Yeah,
I can tell you back in the place.
Yeah. And we had our own language. Burgers up, wrap please, cheese count on max please, cheese 3 please. I know it all.
I came this close from working at Harvey's, which is like a Canadian chain. But
I'm a Chick-fil-A veteran.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh.
The only guy to get fired from Chick-fil-A.
How'd you get fired?
I swept the...
Gay sex?
I swept the counter with a broom.
Oh, really?
I know. Right in front of the manager. And all the gay sex.
I would do all the sweeps and the mops of the dining areas and stuff.
Yeah, they stuck me on that too. That's a goon job.
I fought kids in a parking lot. I fought kids in a parking lot at my McDonald's and didn't get fired. I don't think anyone knew.
That's par for the course, man.
Fucking little snot-nosed 13-year-olds on their skateboards all buzzing around. They're buzzing around. I was mopping the outdoor area. They're like, hey, you missed a spot, loser. And they're all just laughing. Hey, I'm going to eat here later and shoot a snot rocket now. And you pick it up. Missed it, loser. They were like 13.
You snapped it.
They were 13 and they're fucking brazen.
How old were you?
Bitches. I was 16. And what they didn't realize is I was fucking training like Vision Quest to play linebacker in football. I was just fucking working drills and running bleachers and zigzags.
You're shredded.
I was fast. No, not fast. Quick. Super quick. But not fast. But quick for 10 yards. Mm-hmm. Real quick. And I was just sitting there and I just kept mopping and looking down and they kept getting closer. They got a little closer and their friends were they're egging each other on and they're on skateboards and they take like 2 pedals, 2 pumps, come at me and go, miss a spot, loser, and then they peel off. I just sit there like mopping and looking down. And at some point, I waited for the guy to take 2 pumps at me, so he's going right at me, and I just fucking dropped the mop and went into full blitz, like full linebacker, fucking full blitz mode on this kid. And he was like, his face was like, ah! He was still coming toward me, and I looked like I was doing what reptiles do.
Fainted.
Yeah, is that alligator even awake? Pin it. Kick that thing. It's not even awake, and all of a sudden it's on you. Yeah. That's what I did to this kid on a fucking hood of a car. I didn't punch him. I just threw him on the hood of his car, watched his friends all fucking run, called them all fucking pussies, and threw him off the car. But I didn't get fired for that.
Nice.
Yeah, sweeping a mop. Well, that's what I did when I wasn't making the burgers. So, not in the autobiography and not on the application for... It goes, what jobs have you had? And
really
won't
weird.
give us anything about it. So I'm going to go with she's lying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to
Aren't
go
they
with.
both cosplaying as down homey type people?
Yes.
Like they're
Well,
both
he doesn't-
yeah, we're normal humans just like you. My billions of dollars, my supermodel wife.
I think he was trolling her. I don't know what else he was trying to accomplish.
Yeah, you're right.
But I
got a burger hot take on the topic.
Yeah.
I don't like this new business where every single restaurant has decided that a normal cheeseburger has caramelized onions on it. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's like in the last 3 years, you can't get a burger without caramelized onions. It ruins the whole burger. It's the most aggressive taste. It's like they think in 2024 they figured out the better way to do a burger. You didn't. They figured it out before.
Everything's artisan.
Everyone
I'm
seems
with
to
you.
like it except for me, but yeah.
No, I was with my assistant back there asking him what was on his burger, and he said caramelized onions. And I thought, I like raw
Every
onion.
place you go.
Yeah, I like raw onion. I'm old
They
school.
figured out the burger, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 patties, sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. That's how I roll.
There's nothing you're doing now where it's like, oh, right, how did we miss that?
Right.
Maybe put a carrot on there.
Oh, man.
It needs, listen, tomato, onion, lettuce, cheese. We're fine.
We're
Mayonnaise,
good.
Mustard, whatever. But yeah,
This
the
new
caramelized.
tinkering business.
Oh, we got to tinker with everything.
And, they have to tinker with everything. They made it worse, and for somehow it caught on because food bloggers seem to like it.
Yeah, I mean, I like an onion raw, and I'll take it caramelized, but it's got no real business on the
Has
burger.
no business, but
No
I think the
business.
idea is that in their mind, they're like, well, this is now it's a fancy burger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Artisan. It's
So-
like some type
exactly.
of magic that they're doing by
the craft
caramelizing
beer
those
of-
onions.
Yeah,
Garbage.
I think, and last on Kamala, she kind of gets that the media will run interference for her. Like, no one's sitting down
Makes
and
you a
going,
little brazen.
Yeah, no one's going like, all right, let's just put this to bed. You said you worked at McDonald's. Trump says you didn't. Just tell us once and for all.
What's location,
Where
what
is
years?
it? And show us a picture from back in the day, or have one of your friends, tell us she saw you in your uniform. Like, let's just put it to bed. Now, I don't think they're gonna do that because she's not gonna do it because she didn't do it. But it could be put to bed.
It seems
right?
like weird standards, though, because it's like Trump could get away with
You think
saying
there's a
the
bit of a double
craziest
standard?
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
A big
No,
one. Where he says like 10 lies a minute. She says 9, and they're both like all jazzed up about it. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's calling her out for
No,
the
the
McDonald's
difference.
thing.
The difference is everybody knows Trump is a liar.
Yeah.
Nobody knows Kamala Harris.
Oh,
Nobody
she's-
knows
yeah.
Joe Biden is a liar. He's a huge liar. He's like, I was
Yeah.
in South Africa with Nelson Mandela trying to free him from. No, you weren't.
You weren't,
You
yeah.
weren't. But okay, you lie too. But he's known. Trump is known as a liar. And Kamala Harris's whole thing is we're going to bring some dignity back.
So
to
the
whatever.
public persona is incorrect is what annoys you.
They're both liars.
But
Yeah.
one of them, that's what everyone thinks.
Well, it was what bothered me about Ellen. You know what I mean?
Ellen
I like
Degenerate.
Page?
I like mean people. I
yeah.
like tough bosses. I like shitty people. I'm
agree.
fine with that. I just didn't like the fact that people thought she was nice.
And it
That's
wasn't
all.
even, it was, if you ever, I was kind of had the original thought that you were saying where it's like, what's the big deal, right? And then you watch the documentaries, you're like, she was getting an award for nicest person.
That's what I'm saying.
She's getting an award.
I was totally fine with George Steinbrenner. That guy was like, he owns the Yankees. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's all right. That's how he lives.
You can't then run your entire brand on how compassionate you are.
This is what I don't like. Yes, it's the part where you're running on integrity.
Yeah.
And being this person while you're lying. That's the part that bothers. I don't mind that you lie. And I assume all
Yeah, you
politicians
this guy's
do.
a bit of a dick. You're allowed to be a dick. Do
I
not
agree.
like the,
I like a boss who's a dick. Makes me look better.
There's a whole culture. That's the Steve Jobs, right? But if Steve Jobs wanted to do a tour before he died about how nice he treated his employees and, did a big press tour about, and I would always know all their names. Like, everyone go, we all know that's not true.
First off, when I used to work construction after McDonald's, I had a foreman say to me once, his truck was parked up a hill driveway, like the top of the driveway, and a house in the Hollywood Hills we're working on. And he said to me, he goes, go to my truck and get my 4-foot level. And I said, okay. And I started walking to it, and he goes, run. And I was like, okay. I just started fucking running because he told me, run. That's who he was. Name was
Sure.
Mike Stramat, worked on a mine sweep in Vietnam and had issues with pain pills, and he wasn't in a good mood most of the time I worked for him.
Damn.
And I just did what he said to do because I was the fucking low man on the totem pole. I didn't really care. He was a dick. Fine.
But if you wouldn't like if this guy wrote a book on how to be compassionate to your employees.
If I found out that Mike Stramat authored a book on how to be friendly with employees, I would fucking be out of my mind. I would be.
Well, Ellen's whole thing was, never let anyone bully. Like, but there's nothing worse in the world than a bully. And it was like, yeah. And then you're, rubbing your 22-year-old fresh to LA's, employees' noses in their bad scripts.
Yeah, I don't even. I don't even know if I've ever been bullied. I feel like I've been constantly bullied, but I never called it bullied. I was just sort of, I was with Mayhem. I was just beaten down by life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You work digging ditches on a construction site, you're de facto being bullied all day, every day. It's 104 degrees outside, and you're fucking standing in a ditch with Mexicans all day. That's bullying.
You're being bullied.
I'm the ultimate bully. It's called life. It was like sleeping on sharing a futon with another dude in an apartment that had no air conditioning. That bully. Done. Your work is done.
You might be able to weigh out on this and just shared a futon. I was doing videos about this because it's the funniest thing. Well, that's the question, because Abraham Lincoln allegedly shared a bed with a guy, and they made there's a biopic about Abraham Lincoln, and the title of the biopic is Lover of Men. It's all about how he's gay.
There's also one
So
where
if you died, would you be happy?
He's got a lot of. He's a great emancipator.
Yeah.
He's got a book out saying maybe gay. Also has
Adam
a movie
Carolla,
out.
2 Men on a Futon.
Also has a movie out where he hunted vampires. So
It's not a biopic.
well, we don't know. You don't know. You're from Canada, dude. Don't come in here and tell me about Abraham Lincoln.
Hey.
You want to talk about brash?
So you're on the side that he might be a little fancy, little light in the loafers, potentially.
As a guy, I don't know if he possessed loafers. I feel like he was a boot man.
He was.
But as a guy who's done things that sound exquisitely gay.
Yeah.
That are
On paper.
Yeah, very gay on paper, super papery gay. As a guy who's been involved with a lot of that, I try to not to cast judgment. Because I've done a lot of stuff where it just has to be gay, but it's not.
Well, they've been casting judgment on Abe.
Well, what they don't what people don't realize is at a certain point, gay moves into hazing, like extreme hazing.
moves into gay,
extreme hazing becomes extreme homoerotica.
In a hockey dressing room, that was they
But
tie
it's
the
not.
guy's dick up and they put it and they attach it to a bucket and then they shoot pucks in the bucket.
Right?
Pretty
Seems gay.
Well, I
but
thought it was
it's-
definitely gay tying up the fucking dick.
but straight. No homo.
Nothing gay
No
about it.
Diddy.
So,
Frat
share-
hazing's all a little gay.
Oh, the stuff we would do, man. But, shared a futon. Mm-hmm. I didn't have my own bed. Like, I didn't have any money, and I didn't really have
It was a functionality situation.
Yeah, also it was a one-bedroom.
Well, that's my point.
Had 3 dudes living in a one bedroom.
Woo, 3 in a 1 bedroom.
3 in a 1, yeah. And one guy was on the sofa.
Probably fun times though, right?
No.
It was pretty funny that when the guy shared the futon with, got with the chick who was kind of the neighborhood floozy,
Oh, sure.
and they were getting down, but I knew she had eyes for me. So they're about halfway into it, and I just stepped out. I started rubbing her ass, and he just looked at me like, we didn't work any of this out. And I was like, well, it's going down now. And right at that moment, there was on their apartment door, it was like 12:30 on a Saturday night, and it was the other town floozy, and she was like, where's your other roommate, Chris? I'm like, he's out pounding the third town floozy.
The third floozy.
And she's like, well, I got nowhere to be. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let me get my pants. I'm going with you. So we just,
Enough of this.
I left with her. So it was bullet dodge. But, no homo. Pretty straight stuff going on over there. But yeah, it always the lines got blurry into the gay activity.
Of course, but then on paper, if they're writing a biography about you 500 years later, if they want, they can paint the story they want to paint.
Oh, when Kamala Harris's scribes write the story of Adam Carolla one day, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
Not at all. I used to. They do those shows every once in a while, like this 2020 with the hazing on the football team, and they held the one freshman guy down, and the other guys did something called teabagging, and I'm like, yeah, all right, that's healthy, that's normal, that's a Saturday.
That used to be in the band van world. Teabagging was pretty common.
Yeah, you did it to fuck with the guy. That's what you did.
I know.
Yeah,
You always just hope like one of your boys from back in the day doesn't become like a Terry Crews where he goes on and wants to expose and then they put their testicles on my face. You go, when you say it like that, it sounds bad. Yes.
Well, also the thing
bad.
that's funny is when the chick from 48 Hours or 2020 is doing the interview, she's reading the testimonial, right? And then she goes, and they held your son down and did something called teabagging. Now, I'm not familiar with that term. Can you? Because she doesn't want to say she knows what it is.
Yeah.
But bitch, you had a segment producer line you out on this shit 3 weeks ago. If you were reading so if I'm reading this alleged crime that took place, and I don't know what if they pulled a girlfriend snurf, I would go, hello, segment producer. What is a girlfriend snurf? Because I need to know because I'm going to interview.
I'm about to say this, yeah.
Right. So don't sit there and pretend you don't know what fucking teabagging is, bitch. You had a segment producer tell you what teabagging was before the segment was shot, or you're not doing your job. It's one or the other.
Another lie.
Another lie.
Our big one was
a brazen lie, a bold face, brash and brazen lie.
We were traveling, touring in the band in the phone days. So the big one was taking everyone's computers and phones and then taking a picture of your dick on them. So it's like every time anyone opened up their computer, it's like someone's balls.
Oh yeah, listen, the old school version of that was like, I remember Liz Eskoff's, Sweet 16 or whatever, they had the camera, the old school camera. It's like sitting around. It goes right into the bathroom, take a bunch of up close sack shots with it, and then just put it right back on the counter. So they got to take the shit down to the thrifties to have the stuff developed, and then they get a whole pack, and then they got my buddy's raised balls like in the middle.
That's harassment now, I believe.
Oh, I don't think they frown on that.
Works better in an all-male workplace for sure.
Yeah, but no homo.
Zero homo.
We got some more news, guys.
Okay.
Alleged NYC scammers, violent car crash caught on dash cam. Yeah, we should have this up if you guys are awake back there.
NYC scammers.
Yep.
Oh, this one. Oh, this one's kind of crazy.
It's racked up 35 million views.
Oh, because they...
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So they're slamming on the brakes.
Right.
And then backing up.
What happened, babe?
This is brazen.
That's
Oh, my
brash.
God, what is he doing? Babe.
Babe, what happened?
I like that he's got a CB in their car.
And a dash cam.
What's your handle?
Exactly.
What's the scam?
All right, so stop it. All right, so let me say, they used to do it out here all the time. It happened to one of my
Swoop and stop.
friends. So anytime there's an accident and somebody's rear-ended, it's the fault of the person who's driving from behind.
Yeah.
It's 100% their fault. That's the way the law works.
It's an insurance scam.
Exactly.
Right. So they slide. So you go down an open highway. It's not going to work in traffic. If you go down an open highway, you have to slide in and slam the brakes on, letting them hit you. But they don't. But the person didn't hit them. By the way, at this point,
Whoa.
At this point, go find another. Find another sucker. You failed. But they stopped.
Sure.
They put it in reverse. They smashed into them. Then they're going to pull forward and stop and get out of the car holding their neck.
Yeah.
Now, in my world, these people are incinerated. Like they're thrown into a volcano.
Sure.
Like I just go,
Lowest to the low.
I don't care how many kids you have. I don't care how much life you have to live. I don't care who you are. You're the worst person ever. We cannot have this. We can't have you.
It's a woman?
Yeah, well, they switched. The driver that's the interesting part, is that they put up a tarp, if you notice, and then the man switched with the woman really quick.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yes, because he probably has the skill to do this maneuver, and they made it out. He probably has a dirty record. I don't know. It doesn't say.
There's a whole squad involved in this.
Exactly.
So there's 4 people, which can mean 4 whiplash and 4 neck aches and whatever.
Yep.
And
Insurance.
so now there's an issue, and they're getting the driver's license.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah.
I would have held off on the dash cam reveal until we got inside the courtroom myself. But anyway, these people should all be executed publicly. They should. It's the worst of the fucking worst. We don't need them. They're not doing anything. Yes.
No, yeah, they're not. Next up, U.S. judges have a social media problem. 2 judges have been suspended for social media posts as ethic panels continue to crack down on online content.
What panels?
Ethics.
Ethics.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so they're being disciplined for, I guess, just posting sort of liberal type memes, I guess.
Liberal memes.
Is the idea they're not supposed to be partisan? Is that the idea?
That's exactly right, because what they say here is that apparently, even if a judge is acting as a private citizen, ethical rules can limit political speech if it furthers the state's interest in an independent and impartial judiciary.
So if you're going to be a judge, you can't post dank memes. That's the game.
Totally right. Yeah, that's what they've decided.
What are some
here.
examples? Do we have any examples?
Maybe they didn't give them specific. If Joe,
I
could
feel
find
like I
some.
would like to know, because I'll decide when someone's crossed the line. Now,
Yeah, no, you're right.
can you imagine? I would be the worst fucking grifter in the world. They'd be like, come on, we're getting in the Camry. We're all going to go fake getting rear-ended. I'd be like,
Damn it, guys.
can't we just get jobs somewhere? Like, no, we're gonna do a thing, and I'd go like, I'm gonna break. I'm gonna get out of the car, and they're gonna go, and I'm gonna go. I didn't want to be here.
Yeah.
That's not really my sister or my mom. You know what?
They made me.
I was a pretty good ball player in high school, and I had a lot going for me, and I started sharing a futon with a dude, and no homo, but I'm really a decent dude. I'm actually kind of funny, if you get to know me. I just feel weird.
I'll let you guys work your thing.
You guys work it out. I don't even. Just give me like $80. Like, I don't want to fucking sue anybody. I don't want to lawyer up. Yeah. God. So I guess we all need a dash cam.
Yeah, we do
now, right?
But back to the judges. I forgot about this part, that he was this judge in particular, Wilcox. He's like wearing his judicial robes, and other videos he's in his court chambers. This guy right here, he lip synced to Rihanna, Miguel, and Busta Rhymes, and so he kind of was like doing TikTok rap videos. And so suddenly
everyone's got to be an
that's where we're at.
influencer.
Yeah.
Why does I don't know why.
The best influencers who you'd probably love is there's a bunch of women online that have become they're psychopath influencers. They're like, I'm a narcissist, or I'm like a diagnosed psychopath.
Really?
And they have whole channels about how they're
really. Well, what are they saying?
They're mainly like what life's like being a psychopath. Some of them tied into feminism, like, you know what I mean, in a sort of a weird way.
But
they're like, I'm a sociopath, I'm a narcissist, I'm a psychopath, diagnosed psychopath, and they have these whole. They have whole channels, basically, like, day in the life of a psychopath, and they have, these big followings. And
really
hilarious thing to be an influencer.
How does it manifest itself, being a psychopath?
Oh, they'll be like, this is how. A lot of them will be like, these are the kind of mental games that I used to play to scam people. This is, they're
like reformed psychopaths.
Usually not. No.
Oh, really?
Now, but I think that now that they have their influencer thing, they're kind of like open about their tricks to be like, these are the things to watch out for. But that's a small part of it. I don't want to give it the impression that they're only reformed. They're mostly like. It's more like the way that someone would be a depression influencer, like life is a depression. It's like, what was me? I didn't ask to be a narcissist. I was diagnosed this way, and this is how hard it is.
Oh. White hat psychopaths.
What's a website we could?
TikTok.
They're all
it's
TikTokers.
TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, if you type in like the articles, if you type in like
TikTok psychos.
I'm a narcissist, I'm a psychopath, like there's tons of articles. I don't know their names enough to find them, but it's a big thing that's happening right now.
Too many people filming themselves doing not
far
enough,
too
right?
many. And then you can find any influencer. There's, it's just like what you used to do when you were on the construction site. You'd have some bozo on that site filming for his TikTok channel now.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
One time I wanted to bring up, which I thought was funny, is I never got to it, but I was saying that I would go to those sites where they would talk about fixing stuff, because I can fix anything, but I lived in a house with a septic tank, and like the light was going off on the septic tank. I don't know anything about septic. So I went online to find the guy. It was like the septic tank whisperer.
Yeah.
And he was like this 30-year-old dude, and he's like, I'll tell you how a septic tank works and how you got to flush them and how you got to clean them and stuff like that. But he had an earring. And I was like, is that helping? Like, your profession is shit. If he's shit, your profession is cleaning septic tanks, but you
Not
got
a sexy possession.
But you got the stud. And does that get you over the top with the ladies? Like after giving them the talk about cleaning septic tanks all day, but they see that 1 carat stud in your left ear and go, now I think I can lay down with that guy. Like, and now, are you into the aesthetic? You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like the guys. Sometimes you'll see like the UPS guy with the sweatbands on and the sleeves rolled up. It's like,
Looking
you
cool.
still work at UPS. You drive a truck for a living. You can't escape this. You're not you're not a DB in the NFL. You know what I mean? You don't need to accessorize. You clean septic tanks for a living and
Working class
troubleshoot
jobs don't need to accessorize as
We
hard.
don't need the stud earring. Or maybe you do. Maybe the NBA baller with the stud is the guy who doesn't need the stud in the septic. Maybe we start
But you can do it. Get a bunch of tattoos. You know, you don't have to go the one stud. You get a neck tattoo if you're going to be.
Yeah.
I think a blue collar guy wear uniform, he got to stand out. Like he has to part of your uniform is being outside of your uniform. I think the guys are looking for individuality, and yeah, it's not the most glamorous job, but he gets paid obviously to.
I couldn't even hear what this guy was saying. I was looking at his stud earring the whole time, wondering like, when did he make? Was that pre-septic?
Yeah.
For him, is that like a high school move, or did he get into septic and start making so much cash that he had to lay down some for some jewelry? You know? Yeah, I didn't. I got very distracted by the stud and the septic. All right.
Thinking of changing jobs, an Olympic snowboarder wanted for running murderous drug trafficking operation. The FBI
It's a good
says.
movie, though.
That guy could have an earring.
Yeah, Ryan James Wedding, 43, represented Canada in the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City. And now prosecutors allege that his operation shipped as much as 827 pounds of cocaine in a single month, moving it from Mexico to Southern California. So he basically supplied the Los Angeles area with cocaine, kilograms after kilograms of cocaine, a transnational drug trafficking operation where they brought it here to Los Angeles and then shipped it up to Ontario, Canada.
I like had a good link, right? He had all the people on the resorts. He's down with the snowboard culture. That's a good way to sell drugs.
Yep.
I like that snowboarding is a job.
Oh, yeah.
That's an actual job.
Some of these guys crushing it now, too.
I know.
I would say everything of that is all owed to Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah.
I think
Which
you're right.
led to the snowboarding games, which led to it being an Olympic sport, which led to these guys being big celebrities.
Totally right.
All right. We got another Ryan out there, Nemeth, and also Nick as well. Professional wrestlers, stand-up comedians as well. So we're going to give Ryan Long a plug and tell you that his special, Problem Solved, is available on YouTube as we speak. Go out and watch it for free, right, Ryan?
Yeah, definitely pop over there and watch it. I think you're going to like it. I think it's really good.
I'm gonna check it out.
You can catch me this weekend, Philadelphia, Nashville, next weekend, Chicago, Las Vegas, Minneapolis after that. But yeah, special,
Thank you.
youtube.com/Ryan Long Comedy. Appreciate it.
I'm going to be in Covina at the Laugh Factory doing stand-up this Friday and Saturday as well, so you can come out, say hi there. All right, quick break.
Oh, you're at the Laugh Factory Friday? If I'm still here, I'll come by.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
In Covina, though.
Oh, never mind.